housing code is an award-winning piece of policy. It's won several awards, but it really has not had the media attention that I think it deserves. And I think one of the challenges for us as a government is to do a better job translating that policy into real results on the ground. Because clearly we can't rely on the media to do that for us. We're working with project home builders, we're working with local councils, we're working with architects, so that people have that opportunity to realize a 10-day approval process. Now in Victoria, some 60% of their housing development goes through under complying development. In New South Wales, because individual councils have had some forms of compliant development, only 11% goes through in that way. Our target is 50% of all new houses to go through under compliant development, which will be a significant shift for our planning system. It will be a significant boost for home builders. The second thing that has gotten scant media attention, but is, I think, one of the most important pieces of policy that the state government has done in terms of housing, is our affordable rental housing state environmental planning policy. It's one thing to throw all this stimulus money and support to home owners, but very little had been done in recent years at either a state or a federal level to address the problem of affordability in rental housing. And when I mean rental housing, I mean the broad range of it, from the units that you can rent right across the road, through to boarding houses, group homes, and other forms of supported accommodation. I'm also talking about social housing, which I think David will probably talk a bit more about here in a moment. But when we're talking about affordable rental housing policy, it has a whole range of things in it that will support more rental housing becoming available. I'll just quickly highlight three. One, incentives for developers to build affordable housing within their development and to dedicate a portion of their development to be managed by community housing providers for 10 years, and this aligns with the Commonwealth's National Rental Affordability Scheme. The second thing is we've given the Department of Housing the ability to self-approve their own developments. That is, they don't have to go through a development application process. You know why that's significant? Because councils struggle to deal with housing developments when they come for social housing. And let's just be blunt, it's often because people are concerned about the residents, not about the building. What we're saying is that the state government and now the federal government are going to invest massive amounts of money into building public housing for some of the most vulnerable people in the community, particularly for an aging population. We need to ensure that money translates into infrastructure on the ground. So the Department of Housing can now self-approve up to 20 units and up to 2 stories, their own developments. That's going to make a real difference in seeing that money flow immediately into housing for some of the most vulnerable. Thirdly, what the Affordable Housing SEP has done is made it possible for anyone on 450 square meters or larger to put a granny flat in their backyard or attach it to their house. And this is, if there's any silver bullet, and I don't think there are silver bullets in affordable housing and social in this area, but if there is a silver bullet that we've missed in Sydney and New South Wales for the last 10 years, it's been this ability to deliver granny flats within the existing urban footprint. That makes such a difference if you've got aging parents and you want to provide somewhere for them to live within your property. If you've got Gen Y children who aren't moving out of home, and provide somewhere for them to live. Or if you are a homeowner and want to use your property in order to augment your income. And you can now get that granny flat approved through that housing code I talked about, so within 10 days have housing approval to have that, to start building that granny flat. This to me is one of the most exciting things we've done. It means things like people with a disability, people with, say, Down syndrome, who can live semi-independently in the community, have the access to do that. It means someone who is aging can live within the community with somebody knowing they're comings and going, but not monitoring them every step of the way. It means we can provide infill development close to existing transport, existing services, existing shops and hospitals. So going forward, it's a fantastic social policy. And again, one sadly the media has chosen to not focus on, but one that I think over the next few years will greatly increase the stock of affordable housing in New South Wales. I'll stop there because we've got some other fascinating speakers and look forward to some discussion afterwards. Thank you.